He hammers it down.
It's live action out there.
We are back. Great to be back with you. It's another edition of the Carolina Insider. Jones and Adam here with you. It is a rapid reactions edition presented by Modelo, an official beer of the Tar Heels. And Adam, what a great game for Carolina. This was just, it felt like a good old-fashioned ACC game. Two teams that played pretty well, Carolina and Wake Forest in this one. A whole lot of offense in the second half. Tar Heels outlast the Deacs 88-79. So many places to go here, Adam. The Tar Heels shoot 60% in the second half. RJ Davis has 27 points, 22 of them in the second half. Seth Trimble has his best game as a Tar Heel. Leaky Black has a career high. Baycott ho-hum, more than 20 points and 9 rebounds. Just so many things that happened in this game that allowed Carolina to beat a Wake Forest team that played well in this contest.
You like it when it feels like everybody who played goes home feeling like they did something to help the Tar Heels win. And I do think that's how Carolina felt. Pete Nance goes out 2 minutes into the game with some back issues, so Hubert Davis has to use a very deep bench, especially through that first half as he's cycling players in and out. But almost everybody that he brought in made a big difference. And then in the second half, the rotation gets a little tighter. The Tar Heels go to that 3-guard lineup with about 14 minutes left, and boy, they produced.
So for the Tar Heels, again, it was 18 for Leaky Black. That's a career high. 27 for RJ Davis. That's a season high. 22 of them came in the second half. He goes over 1,000 for his Carolina career. He's the 81st Tar Heel to do that, more than any other team in the NCAA. Trimble has 11 points on 4 of 4 shooting. And Baycott, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block, and no turnovers. Pretty good. Also, as Adam referenced, DeMarco Dunn, Puff Johnson, Justin McCoy, Jalen Washington all played in the first half and had significant contributions as well. I talked to Coach Davis. Adam talked to Seth Trimble. Let's let you hear and see both of those interviews. We'll come back, talk a little bit more about this, and get you ready for Saturday as well, Carolina hosting Notre Dame. But first, let's hear from Hubert Davis and Seth Trimble. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Indeed, alongside the head coach of Carolina basketball, Hubert Davis, after Carolina scores 51 points in the second half, shoots 60% in that half, and outscores Wake Forest 88-79 tonight. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win, and what a terrific win for your team. Wake Forest, good team, came in, played well. What are your main takeaways?
I'm so proud of this team, this group. One of the things that we've talked about that it's important for us is, we just got to dig deeper. And, there's times where, you're met with adversity and you just have to find a way to dig deeper and make plays on both ends of the floor. And I just felt like everybody that played did that. I'm so proud of them. Like, Justin coming off the bench, Justin McCoy gave us a huge 17 minutes. Jalen Washington came in and played extremely well in the first half. We needed him. Seth Trimble comes in, and he's just a gifted athletic player that not only can get downhill and get to the basket, but defensively he can guard pretty much anybody out there on the floor. And when we put him in the lineup with RJ and Leaky and Caleb, we were able to switch everything 1 through 4, and that gave us an opportunity to really stop a lot of their action. Armando's, our guy down low on the post, and he was fantastic scoring, rebounding, and I think he had 5 assists and 0 turnovers, which is great. RJ, it's the first game all year I felt like RJ was RJ. Just in the second half he was just special, just making shots, creating shots. And Leaky was, not only the way that he shot the ball in the first half helped us offensively, but his defense was again elite. And I don't think we win this game without Caleb. His shots weren't going in, but we don't win without the plays that he made on the defensive end. He wanted to challenge to guard Appleby, and Appleby is a fantastic player, and I just thought he did a really good job, and I was really proud of Caleb as well.
You've talked about points off turnovers as pick sixes at times, and your team had 32 points off 15 Wake Forest turnovers. How'd you turn all those into pick sixes?
Well, one of the things that we talked about is having active hands, and I think we did a really good job of getting if we didn't get a steal, we got deflections, and then it allowed us to get a steal. And if we can get steals, and number two, if we can rebound the basketball, we're really good in transition. So, we can go. The thing that I was really happy about is in the first half, we had 8 turnovers and we gave them 5 pick sixes. In the second half, we only had 1 turnover. So it's huge. We were turning them over, but we were taking care of the basketball, and that was key for us in the second half.
Pete goes out early with the back issue, only is able to play just about 2 minutes. How did that change things for you as you then tried to manage?
A lot, yeah. You just, okay, great. Jalen, come on in, but that's the same thing that, that I've told the guys. I said, you're always going to get, with me, you are always going to get a chance and an opportunity. Plain and simple, period, the end. The question on the floor that I can't tell you when, where, how, and the manner in which, but the question on the floor is, are you going to be ready when your number is called? And Jalen and Justin, we needed them, and they stepped up to the challenge, and they played terrific.
Just 2 more things, Coach. I mentioned those offensive numbers. 60% shooting, 5 of 10 from 3, got to the free throw line 12.
I know we can shoot. I know we can. You look at our percentages and you say, wow, we're not a very good outside shooting team, but I think we are. Leaky can make shots. RJ Caleb can make shots. Dontrez can make shots. Our bigs can make shots. And so it was nice to see some of those go in consistently, especially in the second half.
Last thing, and you touched on this a little bit, but you have said before this season that 3-guard look when Caleb and RJ out there with Seth is a look that you have liked. What works so well when those 3 are out there together?
Well, it works on both ends of the floor. One, you got 3 really good defenders, and so that really helps us. And Seth is a really good rebounder as well. And then on the offensive end, now you got 3 guys that not only can make shots, but more importantly, they can create shots. And so when you have multiple playmakers out there on the floor that can attack the basket and get to the paint, get to the basket, that's good news for us, and that's bad news for our opponents. And so having those 3 out there on the floor, that offensive rebound that Seth got, when he's in there with RJ and Caleb, that's when I allow him to go to the offensive glass. And, he's really good at that. I like all 3 of them on the floor at the same time.
Well, we are learning the ACC is going to be a fight, night in and night out. And Carolina responded. This felt like one you needed to have.
Yeah, we did, and we dug deeper, and were able to get a really big-time win against a very, very good Wake Forest team.
These 2 will see each other again in Winston-Salem in February, but for tonight, it's Carolina 88, Wake Forest 79. Coach, as always, thank you for your time, and look forward to talking with you soon.
All right, I'll see you in a couple days.
That's right. That's Hubert Davis, guys, inside the Continental Tire. Coach's Corner.
Alongside Seth Trimble after a career high 11 points in Carolina's win over Wake Forest tonight at the Smith Center. Seth, Wake up 56-52 when you come into the game with 14 minutes left. What changed from that point forward?
I'm not sure if this was for sure, but I think the defensive tenacity just changed as a whole. Us, we kind of changed. Just literally everything defensively. We stepped up. We played more aggressive. We played more physically, and I think it translated really well into the offensive end.
And a lot of that felt like it was coming from you. What were you trying to do against really everybody on Wake, but especially Appleby, who had a rough time after you came in?
Especially Appleby. He's a great player. The film that we watched on him was, it may have seemed like it was going to be a huge challenge, which it was. It was a huge challenge guarding him, but he was a great player. So my goal is just, once again, take away their best players, just try and do what I can just to help this team win.
You had one of 2 second-chance baskets tonight for the Tar Heels. You and Armando Bacot, the normal offensive rebounding guys. When you're not the primary offensive guy, what do you try to do to make an impact offensively?
Do everything else. Get guys open, set screens. Leaky was hot tonight, setting screens for him. Just moving off the ball so Caleb and RJ, the guys on the ball, can make the good reads. Armando cutting when he gets the ball in the post. Constantly moving, just trying to keep it moving on. When we're stagnant on offense, that's where we get messy.
A lot of the offense that looked the best came after the ball first went inside to Armando, and then it could come back out. Why does that make the offense look so much better?
I think just teams have to worry so much about him. He's the best player in the nation. And really, you go one-on-one with him, it won't go well. Put up 30 and 20. So, you got to send 2, and then we can play off of there. So I think just doing that really helps us just really just helps our movement.
We were walking back with Marcus Page in the tunnel back here behind the Carolina locker room, and the first thing he said was, "I'm the president of the Seth Trimble fan club." What does that mean to a freshman to hear an all-time Carolina great talk about your play tonight that way?
Coming from Marcus, it seriously means everything. I remember when I was just maybe in 3rd or 4th grade, just, watching Marcus play, just, dreaming that I'd be in that position one day. And just I was just always shell-shocked, and just, my jaw was just always wide open watching him play, just the shots that he took. The way he created for his teammates. And then, just hearing that from him, knowing that you guys just told me that, that's pretty cool. It puts a smile on my face.
Smile on his face from Marcus Page, smile on his face from 11 career-high points, smile on his face from a Tar Heel win. That's Seth Trimble after Carolina's win over the Deacs.
So the Tar Heels improved to 10-5, 2-2 in ACC play. That's also Wake's record after this game. And I tell you, these first couple weeks of ACC play, this is a very competitive and feels like wide open ACC. Still Clemson and Pittsburgh, the two teams at the top of the conference right now, undefeated. I only laugh because I don't think many people had that before the season. Everybody else has at least one loss. Multiple teams, including the Tar Heels, have 2 or more losses. So it is going to be a competitive ACC for sure. Adam, wanted to mention one other thing. I don't think the script would have gone this way had we been told this before the game. Wake 17-4 second chance points. Carolina 32-8 points off turnovers.
That's incredibly efficient on points off turnovers. And you might think, well, maybe all those were just getting steals and running down and dunking it, but Carolina only had 16 fast break points. So a lot of those 32 points off turnovers were coming just running the offense. And we're used to the Tar Heels getting, as Jones said, all these second chance baskets. Armando Bacout's in there getting offensive rebounds, but tonight Bacout had a second chance basket, and Seth Trimble, not the one you would expect, had a second chance basket. So the Tar Heels had to do it in other ways, but they did and shot the ball so much better in the second half. They didn't need those second opportunities.
So Carolina moves forward to Saturday, still here at home, which is great for the Heels after a long trip away from Chapel Hill. Notre Dame coming to town. It is an odd start, 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Radio-wise, we'll be on the air at 10:30. And Adam, I mentioned the ACC. It just feels really important to hold serve at home. Of course, that's always important, but in the league this year with so much parity, at least right now, boy, those home games are like gold.
Well, I had Clemson in Pittsburgh, but I had Clemson winning the Atlantic and Pittsburgh winning the Coastal, and then they were
meeting in
Charlotte. Yeah. So don't be that person who shows up on Saturday at noon and thinks the game's about to start. 11:30, because these home games are important because there's a trip to Charlottesville looming right after that one. Carolina's got it. It seems like it's going to be kind of clumped up in the ACC this year. So Tar Heels got to win these home games and then try to steal 1 or 2 on the road. But starts on Saturday against Mike Bray and the Irish.
Of course, we'll also have to wait and see. Pete Nance only played 2 minutes with back spasms tonight, see how available he is and how Carolina tries to adjust from there. But for tonight, a happy night for the Tar Heels. Really quality offense. Some of the best basketball Carolina has played in that second half in the matchup with Wake Forest. Tar Heels win 88-79. Thanks for being here on a Rapid Reactions edition, brought to you by Modelo of the Carolina Insider.
Glove's going to get a run out. He hammers it down. It's live action.